Good Friday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Happy that you made it to Friday. Today would technically be the first full day of summer because summer began astronomically at 4:50 yesterday afternoon. Take a look at the fog issue. We don't have too many areas that might be of high concern. In white, I see one in there south of the Smokies, south of Mount LeConte. There may be some patches of white there, but anywhere you see gray, maybe some areas that might be conducive for some patches of fog this morning. We got visibility down to 5 miles in Scott County and Oneida, 6 miles in Jacksboro. So it's not to say there isn't some fog, but it doesn't look all that bad as you start your day on a Friday. Right now, temperatures vary from the mid to upper 60s to around 70. Oak Ridge coming in at 70, while Crossville 5 degrees cooler at 65. Sevierville, a pair of 6s, and Knoxville checking in at McGee-Tyson at 69 degrees. Here's the map. You can see it's 70 in Morristown, pretty warm, probably a little bit more humid this morning than it was this time yesterday. In fact, I suspect that is the case. 67 in Wartburg in the heart of Morgan County. And a shout out to Middlesboro, Bell County, 65, Jacksboro, Campbell County coming in at 66 degrees. Dew points are coming up a little higher today. We're starting off the dew points right now in the mid to upper 60s. We have a 67 degree dew point. So the closer that gets to 70, the more stuffy it's going to feel, the more soupy or swampy it's going to feel. We've got a 68 degree dew point in Maryville, as well as in Athens and Madisonville, Tellico Plains area, and Morristown. So it just gives you an idea of what's going on there in terms of the humidity, because we think of the dew point temperature as the gold standard of indicating how humid it might be where you are. By the way, the ultimate Doppler radar presented by your local Marco's Pizza, not showing anything today. I know that some of you, from the comments I've read over the last 24 hours, have said, we need some rain, we need bad, we need rain bad. We're not getting it today. We're not getting it today. We're not going to get it tomorrow. Our best chance is going to be early next week, which I'll cover here in a moment. But I want to say hi to you because you made it to Friday. Congratulate you to that point. Yesterday we hit 91. I was expecting 92, but don't feel bad for me, because if I'm within a degree or two, I feel like I've done a good job, at least getting you get the expectation there. They did hit 92 yesterday in Oak Ridge. So 91 Knoxville, 92 Oak Ridge yesterday. Normal high and low is 87 and 66. The record high today, 99 from 1953. So no matter how it feels, like it's going to feel like mid to upper 90s, we're not going to hit 99 in the shade like they did in 1953 in Knoxville on this date. And we've never been lower than 51, at least never, meaning since the records have been kept. The record low today is 51 from 1985. I want to say good morning to you. Marilyn Bell says she wants cold weather, question mark. Go to the hospital. I've been freezing here for 3 days with my daughter and her gallbladder issue. Oh, I'm so sorry, Marilyn. Prayers to you and your family. Hopefully we'll get answers today. Be safe. Stay hydrated. I like that tip. That's a very good tip. Fred says good morning. Mild 68 in Maryville. In fact, I think I have the opportunity, because if you're new to our platform, I have some opportunities to give you some hellos and also some greetings on the screen. Let's see. Did Marilyn put that out there so you can see? Hopefully it's on the screen there. Yep, it's there. I do see her comment there, wanting to know it's freezing. And I guess she got cut off here from the text. It was a little long, but we'll try and remedy that in the future. Here's Fred, though. Fred's here. He says it's actually mild in Maryville in Blount County. He has 68 degrees, so he is consistent with what we're seeing in terms of our temperatures on the map. So let's go back to the radar. Not much to see here. We did have a big issue in South Texas, which we'll touch on here in a moment. By the way, Marco's Pizza, my sponsor for the Ultimate Doppler Radar, have some great locations that might be near you, like Hardin Valley and Farragut, Maryville and Blount County. We've got Fountain City and Halls represented, as well as Anderson County with Oak Ridge. You got Middlebrook Pike. You got Ebenezer Road, marcospizza.com. Maybe you're hungry for an order-in type of situation tonight on a Friday evening. Pepperoni Magnifico is less than $10, and you might consider lunch plans. A new Pozzoli. May I recommend the pepperoni and sausage? That is my favorite for less than $6 for a limited time. Check them out, though, marcos.com. Notice the heat concerns we keep hearing in the national media out to the north. Pennsylvania, New York State, they're under heat advisories relative to their averages. They're cooking. And they've got some excessive heat warnings there in fuchsia or purple color in parts of southwest Pennsylvania, northwest Ohio, and northeastern Indiana. Meanwhile, it looks dry in Omaha, but we've got some flooding concerns in southern Minnesota and also into parts of South Dakota. But this is the national map. The big story yesterday was Alberto. He is no longer a storm. The remnants have faded away, but the mark was left. There have been anywhere from 5, 10 plus inches of rain, possibly up to 20 in some of the mountains of Mexico. So a lot of rain occurred there, but things have quieted down. Let's talk about local weather. Can we focus on the weather that's local, Aldrich? Yes, we can. Because if you're playing the home game version, this is my extended almanac for the first 20 days of June. Now, if you notice, we did not hit 90 in the month of May. So what you see on this screen is the hottest days of the year. And you'll notice if you're calling for a high of 94, which I am, okay, 94 today would be the hottest day of the year so far. Oh, I see where you're going with that. If we hit 94, even if we hit 93, it would be the hottest day of the year so far. You got to throw in the so far. Someone's going to call you out on that. That's okay. We'll throw in the so far. But if we hit 94 today, that would be the first time. Now, who else is going to tell you this? Who else is going to tell you other than people who take notes? This is going to be the first time we hit 94 since the 27th of August. That's the hottest day we hit last year of all of 2023. We hit 94 degrees. Ready for this? Let's have my other notes. 1, 2, 3. 3 times. We hit it on the 28th of July, the 25th of August, and the 27th of August. Who is going to tell you that kind of detail? I challenge you. No one has time to do that on most of the weather platforms. But I can tell you, it's going to be hot again today. Today at 94, even if we hit 93, will mark the hottest day of 2024 so far. Right now it's 70 degrees in Oak Ridge. We're on our way there. 69 in Knoxville, 66 in Maryville. Very warm, no doubt. I'm also on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, give me a call or a shout out. I'd love to say hi. I do see Steve Stone. Is he on here? I believe Steve is here. Steve is saying hi. He is on here. How do I know? Show me Steve Stone. There he is. Steve Stone's got his smiley face. I love it. He's got his little sunshine icon. I love it. Thank you. Good Friday morning to you, Steve. Glad to have you on the platform. As you can see, the little comment there. Love that. But temperatures right now, 70 in Oak Ridge, 67 Maryville, and dew points are a little swampy. Much more humid by the tune of maybe 3 or 4 degrees as compared to yesterday morning. Our wind speeds, light and variable, 3 miles an hour. That's the way it's going to be most of the day today, just 0 to 5. Variable winds, so it's not going to be terribly windy, but it will be sticky. So you got the 3 H's, you got light and variable winds, not necessarily what you'd expect this to go around. But notice the clouds. I don't see many. There are a few, but you really have to examine the whole state to see some of them. They're back toward Memphis. A few patches of clouds in Middle Tennessee near Nashville, but not a whole lot waking up this morning here in Knoxville at this particular time. Temperature right now is 5 degrees warmer in Nashville. Music City's got 74, Chattanooga 73, and they're currently cooler, Johnson City, at 64 degrees this morning. Those are the current readings. It is, by the way, 6:48. I'll be done here in 12 minutes or less because I got a lot to cover with the tropics as well as the Omaha. Did you say Omaha? Yeah, I got to talk about Omaha. Omaha forecast. Dew point temperatures in the mid to upper 60s pretty much all across the state. And it is a little bit less humid in yellow areas like Asheville. They're at 61, so a little bit less. And you can see this ebb and flow. You can typically see this come and go heading into the rest of this afternoon. Tomorrow could very well be just as sticky, maybe a little bit more. Heading through midday Saturday, there's 5 p.m. There's a lot of that green ooze, which represents stuffy air, right through the heart of East Tennessee. Sunday, not much better, maybe a little bit of a pullback, but still Sunday, we've got a chance to run toward 96. So if it's 96 and dew point 62 or 3 or 4, you might say, well, it's hot, but not as humid. It's a trade-off, but you're going to find it very uncomfortable the next couple of days. 3 H's today, 94 would mark the hottest day of the year. The sun did come up at 6:20. It goes to bed now at 8:56. You could argue that today, you might sense, because we're just a few hours away from the 4:50 astronomical start of summer, this is just one of the longest days of the year. Today is one of the longest days of the year, so if you don't get out on a Friday evening, maybe walk the dog when it's not as hot, like the golden hour, like when the sun's almost down, but it goes down now 4 minutes. 4 minutes prior to 9 p.m. You gotta love that. Summer is here, no doubt. As we look at the hazy sky, maybe you've got the Jeep in the driveway and you're headed out to the mountains doing some hiking this weekend. Notice by 10 o'clock we're in the low 80s already. and by 2 o'clock should be around 90 already. Finishing the day about 94 for Newport, Maryville, 95 Kingston, and a high around, say, Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County at 88 degrees. Got some other notes here coming in. Let's see if we can check in as we look at the forecast, because I want to see that too, just like you do. I see Gardner's on here. I want to say hi to Gardner. He's on here. Let's see if I can put him on the screen. There's Gardner. Gardner has a comment. He says, good morning, David. TGIF, I agree. Which month do you expect the most of these 90-degree temperatures to occur? Well, typically, great question, Gardner. Great question. Because typically that occurs in July, because we average about a week. We average about a week, 7 days in June and 12 days in July. So July, historically speaking, is the hotter month. But, you know, the way things are going, we could keep this pattern going right into the 4th of July. But it's interesting because it's a great question, no doubt. As you head back to the maps, you can see we've got 94 for an expectation in Maryville, but it could hit 95 in Athens. I don't want to leave out Kingston. Kingston's about 95. Chrissy Swaney, I believe I said that. She says, we need some rain. I think she's right. I think she's right on the mark. And I think that's been the concern a lot of folks have been having as far as where this weather is, because she points out we need some rain bad. So, Chrissy, thank you for that comment. Shirley is on here, too. She's saying good morning. She is actually, let's put her on the big screen. She says good morning from Rock Island, David. So glad to have all of you on here live and, of course, in person when I can put you now on the screen. Temperatures are part of the story. Let's talk about tropics. Good news here. Wave heights have gone down from what was 17 feet, 9 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet. We had a lot of bigger waves this time yesterday when Alberto made landfall. But now that it's moved away, wave heights are coming back down, maybe back to more reasonable levels. Let's see, 6, 7, 9 feet. But there is going to be more activity, sadly, in the southern part of the Gulf of Mexico. Temperatures in the water of the Gulf of Mexico are in the low to mid 80s. So it feels very warm. It's conducive for more activity. Here's the latest. Now we can cross off Alberto, but our friends at the National Hurricane Center, when they predetermine these names long in advance, well in advance, and they recycle names, because you might say, I remember a Chris, or I remember a Debbie. Yeah, they recycle these names every 6 years. And if it's like traumatic, like a Katrina, they retire such names. So if it has a lot of fatalities, if it's associated with fatalities and mayhem that's catastrophic, they'll typically retire a name. But Burl, Chris, and Debbie are the next 3 names on the list. I point this out because there's a 60% chance that one forms again on the heels of Alberto. And the one that's off the coast of Florida, I didn't put that on there, but I could do that manually. A lot easier probably to just do it manually, right? I can do that. This is actually 50, because I'm right-handed here. 50% chance that we get a storm that is possibly the second one. So if the one in the Gulf is Burl, then we might have Chris. Might have a tropical storm Chris that could affect Tybee Island, Jacksonville, Savannah, Tybee Island, and Jacksonville. Some areas in Florida may get pounded with heavy rains. Whether or not it gets a name may be academic at this point. Futurecast shows the coloring changing from yellow to orange. At 5,000 feet, that's significant, because tomorrow I have us at 95. That would be 1 degree warmer than today. And then on Sunday, I have it another degree warmer. I take us to 96. So you got 94, 95, 96. That's a heat wave, my friend. And after the fact that we hit 91 yesterday, it will be pronounced. It will be certainly taxing, not only to you, but to the tomato plants, the cucumbers. You got to make sure they're watered. Your garden hose will be the best friend for those plants, because you got to get to Monday, really Sunday night, Monday, before any significant rain moves into town. I do have some spotty rain on Sunday, but it's really Sunday night into Monday that we'll see our best chance of some precipitation. Let's talk about headlines. It's 6:53. Another heat wave. I think we've covered that in great detail. More humidity. I think we've covered that too. But if you are waiting for some rain, and I saw Chrissy there, she said she wanted some rain. Yeah, we're going to get some rain, but you're going to have to probably wait till early next week. Wanda Poe says, I hope we don't have a drought. Please be careful with the wildfires. Well, keep in mind, our water situation, we're running 5.71. Now, if you're a note taker, put 5.71 inches of rain. That's what we have above normal for the year. This is because we came off the 4th wettest May of record keeping. Going back to the 1870s, 1871 to be precise, we had the 4th wettest May. And because of that, we had over 8 inches of rain just in the month of May. So that's why we have over 5.71 inches above normal for the year. For the month, we're still running about 0.73. So we are dry. I don't question that. But keep in mind, in the big picture, we're talking about the month's picture and the year picture, we're still above average. We'll be watching the dryness, I'm sure, continue throughout the next couple of days. Currently, we're at 69 degrees, winds out of the northeast at 3, relative humidity at 93%, dew point 67. Here's my valley planner. Make no mistake, it's going to be hot. If you've got errands to run, may I suggest you go out this morning. And if you have to spend some time outside today, tomorrow, the next couple of days, keep in mind, once you hit midday at 86, it's going to feel pretty taxing itself. Maybe, may I suggest, go grocery shopping in the afternoons where you're surrounded by air conditioning. Or maybe in the library. You could spend some time there. If your ceiling fan isn't cutting the mustard, you need some, maybe you go watch a movie. Movie theaters have great air conditioning. So I want to make sure you're cared for, make sure your pets are watered and well hydrated, as Marilyn and Wanda have pointed out, if not today, in days past. Precipitation chances jump up to 60% on Monday. I have a 40% chance on Sunday night. So it goes like 20, 40, 60. So it's a stair step. Goes up, and then there's another chance coming in Wednesday and Thursday. So very thankful for you. See here. Oh, I got another note here. Let me see if I can come back here. I believe I can do this. I believe Felicia's got a note. I don't want to leave Felicia out because she is also pointing out there's some events going on that she wanted to point out. She says, good Friday morning, terror in the woods. Oh, no, what's that? Oh, that's at Imes Nature Center. She says that's tomorrow night for all those horror movie fans out there. Thank you, Felicia. I love hearing about great events. And, of course, we've got to talk about the Vols. Have a great weekend, she says. Things fell off my text there because of the number of characters. I don't know if I could fix that while I'm on here. I don't know if I could try that. Let's see if we could go one. Let's see if I can switch that. See if that'll change. Did it come back? I mean, maybe not. Okay, so anyway, she mentioned at Imes Nature Center there's a special event. I got to bring up another point as we focus in on as we focus in on the events like the big game, 7:30 Omaha tomorrow. If you're curious, what's the weather going to be? All you have to do is check out my app, because one of the cool things you can do in Omaha is you can get the hour-by-hour forecast. And you say, are you sure that's Omaha? I'm pretty sure, because that says I believe that's the Charles Schwab Field. Oh, yes, that's the address. And you could just type in Charles Schwab Field, Omaha, and it'll come up, and you can get the hour-by-hour forecast. Right now, the expectation for our friends in Omaha, because the game is in the evening, we're talking about chance of rain is 30%. Highs around 91 degrees. But the question is, are they going to have severe weather? Let's take a look at those maps. It's now 6:57. I got to keep moving. There is no concern for severe weather in Omaha today, and there's no concern for severe weather in Omaha tomorrow. So that's good news. But it's nearby. It's pretty close. If you slide up to the north, you can see from Billings to central or north central Nebraska, all the way up in toward Minneapolis, St. Paul, there's going to be some scattered severe storms. We could also include a large part of southeastern Utah, as well as parts of western Colorado for scattered severe storms, and some isolated severe storms from Pittsburgh to Albany and Scranton. As I mentioned, for the last 2 days, I did not have any rain coming in on Friday. Storm Prediction Center removed that chance and put a little bit of patch of green in the Tri-Cities. So if we get some thunder today, it may very well be spotty, and it may be toward the Tri-Cities, not here. Meanwhile, Omaha is really on the doorstep on Saturday. It's close call. Storm Prediction Center decided to draw the green line, the dark green, east of the city. So if we have severe weather tomorrow, and of course the game is at 7:30 Eastern, as we take on the Aggies of Texas A&M, that's what's going to be happening there. You can get the hour by hour by downloading my free Captain Accurate weather app. But severe weather may occur in Des Moines and Cedar Rapids and Waterloo and central sections of Wisconsin. There's also some concerns for isolated severe weather tomorrow in Scranton, Pennsylvania, for example. Here, again, I still question. I think Saturday's dry. I wouldn't put too much expectation for rain until really Sunday night into Monday. Speaking of Sunday, they have some isolated severe storms for parts of Tennessee, mainly north of Nashville, but definitely includes Louisville, Kentucky, and Columbus, and Pittsburgh, and New York City and Boston, as well as D.C., but Clarksville has a better chance, and Bowling Green for some isolated severe storms on Sunday. For us, it may be just of the general variety. But I will caution you, when it's this humid, when it rains, it can pour. Notice by 12:15 today, There's not a whole lot of rain showing up. There's a little echo there or two around Bryson City, but I think that's just model noise. I think we're dry across the board. Heading into tonight, some scattered clouds. We drop down tonight, down to about 71. By Saturday, again, I think this is model noise. I think we're pretty dry across the board. It's just hot. There's no getting around that. The clouds may be present more on Sunday than Saturday, but it's just hazy for sure. Now, Sunday at noontime, we got some scattered showers trying to form. It's really in the late afternoon, if not the evening. It tries to move in like so. That's 2:15 in the morning. So our chances of rain only increase once that front comes knocking on the door, and it's going to be coming in from Bowling Green, Nashville, late Sunday and into Monday, and then sweeping away. So we'll see some improvement, most likely Monday afternoon. It is now 7 o'clock straight up. It's time now to get to your forecast. Notice at midday today, we should be around 87. By the time we hit 2 o'clock this afternoon, I don't expect any rain. A lot of this may be model noise. But again, it does show some comparisons with some of the clouds. But finishing the day around 94. Tonight, if you're heading out, maybe you're ordering a Marco's Pizza tonight. Or perhaps heading out and going to a restaurant. You'll notice temperatures are going to be cooling through the 80s and into the 70s. Tomorrow morning, we're down to 71. Midday tomorrow should be around 88. A hotter day tomorrow by the order of about 1 degree. So I have us around 95. On Saturday, 96 coming in on Sunday. Just be prepared to be patient because, again, we haven't had this type of heat in quite some time. Really, to get above 94, you'd have to go back to 2022. You'd have to go a couple of years back to get it that hot. 94 today, hazy, hot, and humid. Look for a high in Jamestown, 89. Crossville, 88 and 94 in Newport, looking for a high around 93 in Morristown, Hamlin County. And if you're traveling today, it's going to be probably just as hot. In Chattanooga, 94. Lexington, Kentucky, 96. You would be hard-pressed to get any cool air in the region. Maybe some cooler air in the mountains of North Carolina. Asheville's at about 89 today. Tonight, we're down to 71. Some scattered clouds. It's sticky for sure. Humidity still present. We're down to 67. Sevierville, 71 Maryville, and 71 in Tellico Plains. All right, now it's 7:01. Time now for your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. If you were hoping for cooler weather, you might have to focus on day number 7, because that's the only day I have us right now in the upper 80s, 90 on Wednesday, 89 Thursday, so it may be academic, but when you have lows in the upper 60s to low 70s, it's going to remain very sticky. It's going to remain very humid, so pack your patience. I know some folks live for this weather because they like to hang out by the pool. And if you like to hang out by the pool, then this weather is for you. You have waited all year for this, some of you, and some of you really like it. I'm thinking of Cray Slavin. He's one of the fans that loves the heat. So if you can't get enough of it, hopefully this will satisfy your craving because you've waited a long time during the months of winter. But now that we're in summer, time now to enjoy the season for sure because it's certainly upon us. By the way, if you haven't picked up this app, I talked about the app a moment ago for Omaha, the hour-by-hour forecast. Just download it. It's the Captain Accurate Weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic. You get all the National Weather Service alerts plus 3 extra alerts. Plus you get lightning alerts, which can be very helpful when you're at the pool, the neighborhood pool, the lake this summer, or maybe you're headed to a beach vacation because lightning alerts will notify you when lightning is striking within 15 miles of your location. It can be very helpful. By the way, if you want extra weather information, may I suggest or recommend my Captain Accurate Premium service. Our focus is beyond the next 7 days. We focus on things usually 2, 3, 4 weeks in the future. We look for pattern recognition. We look for trends, but that might be just the kind of information you're looking for because we've been talking about the 4th of July weekend for what seems like weeks. We've been doing that for a while now, and that might be something that you would like to know about. You're also the first to see every forecast that I put out, and it usually comes out well before it's posted on the app or Facebook. And speaking of Facebook, you get more Facebook Lives, you get fewer ads as a Captain Accurate Premium member. Check us out. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button at the top of my Facebook page, or simply go to CaptainAccurate.com for more details. Well, very thankful for you. Please stay cool and make sure your pets are cared for. And not a bad idea to check on your elderly neighbors. I'm sure they would appreciate if you just say, hey, I want to say, hey, everything good, everything good. Anyway, my name is David Aldrich. We'll see you here next time. Take care.